Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my updated foundation routine. This is the way I like to get my flawless looking foundation, flawless looking face without getting any type of cakiness happening on the skin. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys my tips and tricks. If you guys are interested, let's go ahead and jump right on in. Alright, so before we get into the actual makeup, the actual foundation, and all of that, you want to make sure that you are prepping your skin first. Because without proper skincare and taking care of your skin, it's not going to display the makeup its best, if that makes sense. For me personally, I love to glow. I like to have a lot of like natural radiance happening. I'm gonna be going in with the Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream. Now, of course, you don't have to break the bank and like use a very expensive moisturizer. For me personally, I think skincare is like number one when it comes to makeup. So I like to splurge on that and have a really good moisturizer because in turn, it just makes my skin look that much better. I'm just gonna go ahead and dot on some moisturizer. I am breaking out at the moment, so just don't mind that. I'm just gonna rub this all over my skin. This is one of my favorite moisturizers, you guys. Like, it just leaves my skin looking super, super glowy. Like, as you can see, it's phenomenal. So for primer today, I'm going to just do it into my T-zone where I have the most enlarged pores and, you know, where I would get oily throughout the day, like the sides of my nose and right over here. So I'm just gonna go in with the Smashbox Photo Finish primer. I just put a little bit on my fingertips and just blend in like so. I really love the e.l.f. Poreless Putty one, which is right here. I use this almost every single day, so I could have used that one right now as well. Either one of those work phenomenal for me. This foundation has been a favorite of mine for a few years now. I always go back to, like, I will try out a new foundation and love it, you know, use it for a while, but always remain back to this one. It's just something about it I love. NARS Natural Radiant. I'm obsessed. What I'm gonna do is dot it on with this brush. So I'm just going to keep on applying onto my skin. I'm using a brush right now actually to start off, and I'm just going to get all these areas, and then I'm gonna go in with a sponge and blend it out. I like to do that sometimes. Sometimes I go straight in with the Beauty Blender. Sometimes I go straight in with like a flat top brush. It really just depends what foundation I'm using. For me to avoid cakiness and all of that, I don't go in with a ton right away. I like to build my way up. You'll notice in like all of my foundation reviews and all of that, I do like to build up the product. I don't just go on with like a bunch and just like hope for the best. I do like to go in with like little amounts and then keep on building on top of that. A, to see if it's buildable, but also because I don't want to have it being looking like super thick, and that's when you kind of get the whole cakiness happening. So I'm going to keep on blending this in. I blend it down to my neck always. So who else loves doing the skin? Like the full-on base makeup, complexion, all of that. Like, that's my favorite part. I don't know, I just get like, oh, so excited when everything looks so smooth and one tone. Obsessed. Let me know if you guys are like that. I'm just gonna hit the eyelids very quickly with the remaining on the sponge. So any spots I feel like need a little bit more coverage, I will just take remaining from my hand and just pounce right on top of that. I swear, going in with less amounts first and building your way up to the coverage and all of that will save you. Like, you don't want to go in with so much and keep blending and blending and then like it looks like thick. You want to make sure your skin looks smooth, and I feel like that's like the key to this. Like, having a flawless looking face and long lasting foundation and all of that, the amount you put on when you initially start matters. Light amount and build on top of that. All right, next up for concealer. My concealer always changes. I have a ton of favorites and I always bounce back between like a lot. I just have a lot of my favorite concealers and I feel like I can't just choose one. So I'm actually gonna be using two concealers today, but for good reason. I'm gonna be using this one, which is the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion. I'm gonna be putting that mainly like here. And then I'm gonna go in with the new Born to Glow from NYX, mainly right over here. Now this has been an all-time favorite of mine and it's from the drugstore. It's so inexpensive. I have a full video on it. I love this. You need to get it. And then the Flawless Fusion is just like your skin but better, and also just masks everything you need to conceal. But it's like very skin-like, which is my kind of go-to. So I'm gonna take the Laura Mercier one first and apply that right here. And I'm going to do the side of my nose like so. As opposed to just using bronzer on my nose to contour, I also go in with the concealer to kind of make it look pinched a little bit. The side of my nose and the middle of my nose. And same thing on the other side. A little bit on my chin. Then I go in with the Born to Glow from NYX. I do go right in with the applicator that it does come on. I also take this one and do it on the sides of my mouth a little bit. I have hyperpigmentation over there, and of course I could color correct, but I don't find the need to do all of that. So I just do a little bit of the concealer and it seems to be fine. And I'm just going to press into the skin. Rolling and pressing also helps as well. I don't do that as often. I feel like I do that more with powder, but that just like helps to sink the actual concealer into the skin like so. When it comes to the nose, I just like lightly blend on top of it. I don't really pick the sponge up all that often and like smear, because that's just like defeating the whole purpose of where we put it. So I just really push in like so. So next part would be bronzing or contouring or sculpting out the skin, however you guys go about it. I'm gonna be using the e.l.f. contouring little palette today. This is Cream Contour. It is my favorite one to use. It is so bomb, you guys. I'm just gonna be using it on this brush, and I've been using this for years as well. I kind of just bounce between both of those shades right here, and I'm just going to put it into my cheekbone area, and I just press in with this brush, and it really just sinks into the skin. I've shared this so many times as well, and it's just one of my favorite ones. Just find that this looks the most natural and like, I don't even know, just like, it just looks like it's your skin that has this beautiful sun-kissed bronzed glow. I love it. So I don't really do this because I feel like that just drags and takes away your foundation, in my opinion. So I just like to press, and I do it from like the tippy top of the ear into here. And then onto your forehead. You guys have seen me do this like 101 times, but I feel like these most recent products and the way I'm doing it now, I feel like maybe similar to the way it was before, but I just feel like I've gotten it down like a lot better to look more flawless like. Now I'm gonna go in with powder to go ahead and set all of that down. I've recently been using the Covergirl powder. This one's in the shade 50 Translucent. It is beautiful to bake if you wanted to leave it on a little bit longer and have more of that airbrushed effect on your skin. I personally don't love to bake all that often, so I'm not really gonna do so. I'm gonna take a little bit on this edge of the sponge, which is more flat-sided, and I'm going to carve out the underneath section of the contour we just kind of made. Like that. And then do the remaining on the forehead very lightly. I don't really love a lot of powder. I don't like a matte look on my skin at all, but of course you do want to go ahead and set those areas so we don't have any slipping and sliding throughout the day or anything. So I do just add a little bit, obviously, but I don't add a ton. Then I just go back in and take a little bit more and go on the sides of the nose, very lightly press. I go in with a brush now and dust this away very lightly. I usually hold like towards the end of the barrel to get more of a lighter hand. Now at this part in the game, I like to go ahead and spritz out my face, and today I'm going to be using the Morphe Mist. This is the continuous mist. So once I give that a little bit to dry down and sink into the skin, I'm going to go in with powder bronzer now. You don't want to go into that like super fast after you spritz because that will just be a mess. So you do want to wait for any type of mist that you're using to set down into the skin. So I'm going to go in with the Park Ave Princess from Tarte. This is a bronzing palette. My favorite one to use is the Princess Cut. It is a beautiful shade, especially if you're going to go ahead and contour with it. I'm using it mainly to set the contour that we did before, but add additional bronze, and it's like a perfect shade for me personally. and just press a little bit to get it on there, and then press over here. I bring it in an upward motion because I want everything to look uplifted. I don't want it to look like it's dragging low. So I bring it like so and up. So once I've done that, I'm gonna go ahead and do my lashes quickly and just like the remaining of my eyes. I'm not gonna really do anything there, just some lashes. When I pop those back on, I will come back and share with you guys like the highlight and the finishing steps to the skin. I'm going with some highlighter. I'm taking the Persona Cali Glow, and this is in the color Zuma, one of my all-time favorites when I'm not using a loose powder. This is one of my favorites. So I'm going to also spritz up my face again, just so it has something extra to adhere to. You don't have to do this. It's optional, but I do it. All right guys, so once I've done that, that pretty much is how I do my most recent foundation, how I go about it, the whole routine, and how I like to achieve like a glowy, effortless, smooth, flawless looking face without looking cakey or all of that. So this is the way I've been doing it, and I absolutely adore it. Again, the foundation and concealer will fluctuate and like change. I always wind up going back to that NARS one though. It's just something about it that looks super smooth and radiant. The actual way I go about doing it is what I feel like is updated, and this will last me all day. I know that this is what's going to work for me. I hope you guys did enjoy this. I will have these listed down below, and of course there are drugstore alternatives for these products, so just keep that in mind. You don't have to use these exact products, but this is what I've been doing and I love it. So I think that's all for this video. I hope you guys did like it, and I will catch you guys in my next one.